What's up, y'all? Another day in the garage. I'm Andy, this is EPS Garage, and today I'm going to show you how to make a very simple and effective bird feeder. Spring's coming up. These sell. I've sold quite a few of these on Nextdoor, Facebook Marketplace, out at the markets. You can also get very creative with these. They have a lot of room where you can paint them, wood burn them, all that stuff. I'm going to do a whole nother separate video on what I've done, and I'll show some examples here in this video of the wood burning ones I did and some of the painted ones. This one I did probably last spring or last fall, I can't remember, but these things are awesome. They work well. So I hope you like it. If you do, please hit like, subscribe, and if you'd like notifications on future videos, then ring that bell. Stay tuned. All right, so you might ask, what am I going to need for this? Well, you don't need much. I make them out of cedar planks. This is your standard 6-foot cedar plank. You can get them with or without the dog ears on top, either way. But this is a fence plank. That's all it is. They work great. They hold up well outside. And this will make probably a couple of them. We'll see how many we get out of it. Then you're going to need some wire. I use galvanized like Beveling wire. Works well. That's to hang it. I used to do this all by hand with a hammer. I'm telling you, it's not the preferred method. The best way is when I bought one of these brad nailers. I got a small little compressor. It fits right there in my drill press. You might have seen it on my shop tour. I showed it real quick. But this saves you so much time. This is a headache, I promise you. And you got to use those little nails. Pain. And then of course, some wood glue. I use Type Bond 2 for this one usually. You can use whatever you want. Use Elmer's glue. They all probably work about the same. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this board down on my table saw. The reason why is I take 1 inch off of this board, and whatever's left is going to be my bottoms and my roof slopes. It makes it real easy. The 1 inch pieces you'll cut up, and they're going to end up being the pillars, the sides, and the ends. Okay, so after ripping this down, got my 1 inch pieces. I went ahead and cut a few extra of these because I'm batching these out, but for you could probably get 2 feeders out of a 6-foot board. If you just cut that 1 inch piece, you might get 2 feeders. And then that leaves us with 4 3/4 inch. This will be the bottom and the roofs. So it'll be 4 3/4 inch wide, and I always make them 8 inches long. You can change this up however you like. I don't have drawings or anything. The whole point of this video is just kind of show you what I make. This is my design. I did it all off the top of my head. I did draw some notes and reminders so when I'm building more, but it's really simple. I'll show you. You'll see.
Cutting my bottom piece and the 2 roof slopes at 8 inches long, this 2 side pieces at 8 inches long, and the end pieces, which will match the bottom piece, at 4 3/4.
Got all my pieces cut.
I don't know why I'm saying I have all the pieces when I don't. Right now you should have 2 roof slopes, 1 bottom piece, 2 side pieces, 2 end pieces, and 4 pillars. I keep forgetting to tell you all about the pillars. I will cut those in a few minutes. Right here I go on and on about a bunch of non-important stuff. All you need to know is that the side pieces are going to get some 45-degree miters to make basically a box, and the 2 roof slopes are going to get a 45-degree bevel. That way they go together and make your roof. For whatever reason, if you don't want to make miters and bevels, you can just butt them up together like I'm showing here. It's a simple way to do it. May have to adjust some measurements, but that is another option. Using my table saw and miter gauge, I'm cutting the miters on the side pieces and end pieces. Then I'm going to adjust my saw blade to make a 45-degree bevel for the roof pieces. I creep up to the line to make it right to the corner so the bevel's perfect. And then I can just do the other one right after.
At this point in time, I have all my pieces cut. I have 2 roof pieces, 45-degree bevel, make my 90-degree angle for my roof. 1 bottom piece, everything's going to set on that. 2 side pieces with 45-degree miters on each end. And then my 2 end pieces, 45-degree miters. For the pillars, they're going to hold the roof up. I made mine 8.5. You can make them as tall as you want. It's just going to depend on how high you want the roof. These are 8.5 by 1 inch. Some of those 1-inch pieces we ripped earlier in the video. And now you're going to put 45-degree miter on 1 end.
Glue does go bad, y'all. Also, you want to keep it from freezing. So if you're in a little garage like me, you may want to think about if your garage gets below freezing. If you're keeping your glue out there, bring it in. Just like you should bring in your animals, right? Well, your glue wants to be inside too. And I'm just going to put some glue, use a little bit of masking tape, and put this all together. Rubber bands are awesome for these small glue ups. There we go. Let that dry. For the bottom pieces, you don't have to do this. I drill a couple countersunk holes, and the whole purpose is for drainage.
All right, I let our glue dry for an hour or 2, went and did something else. I had to stain those new displays that I made. That video already came out. You can leave the tape on there until after you're totally done putting this all together if you want to keep moving on with the process. But right now we have a little frame, we have the bottom piece, the frame will fit to that. We have the pillars, which these will go in each corner. And then we have the roofs. Those are all the pieces. Putting this together is pretty simple. I'm leaving the tape on mine for now. Just make sure it's not in the way of your glue. Put some glue around your edge. Of course, I used the wrong side. Figures. And I'm using 1-inch brad nails. Doesn't really give it any strength, but it holds it together while the glue dries. I used to clamp these up all night, come back out the next day, and you know, it's a waste of time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Same thing with the little pillars. Next thing I put on, you got to make sure your beveled side is pointing out. It's important. I do put glue on the bottoms and the sides of this. You want this to be pretty strong. Put it in the corner like that. You see that? A little bit of glue squeeze out is fine. Wipe it off. There's one. Should look like that. So I bought this, one of the big box stores. It's a corner jig. And for putting together this miter joint, works out fantastic. Little roof for the birdies. After the glue dries and I apply this, I'll sand it smooth. And this leaves you a really nice surface for decorating, getting artsy and craftsy, whatever you want to do. I've had a lot of people buy these just blank. They wanted to decorate it themselves. Cool, because decorating it takes a long time, and really honestly the amount of decorating I do to them and then the price I sell them for them, probably not getting my money's worth, but it's all in good fun, right? Hey, I just wanted to real quick make sure y'all are really clear that when I'm using my brad nailer, I'm using another piece of wood back behind it to push it against the end while I'm brad nailing. You would not want to put your fingers right here behind it and brad nail it. That would be a very bad idea, because if it goes through, it's in your fingers. Use a piece of wood or something, push up against it, and then you don't have to worry about it. Just wanted to give that quick bit of information. Final piece to assemble. I'll let the glue dry on these an hour or so, is the roof. Seeing how these are cut 45, the roof set right on there. And you get a nice tight fit. What I normally do is I'll put some glue, put the roof down, just like that. Again, this is end grain, so it's probably not a bad idea. Put some glue on there, rub it in, let it soak up, let it dry, and then do this again. However, I'm not doing that. I'm going to place it right on there. All I don't do any measuring or anything. I just kind of feel on the ends. Make sure it's even. And now you can use a nail or something. You can guess, measure it out. I tend to guess. I'm pretty good at that. Roof is attached. Next step is putting the wire on. To do that, I don't measure, but I do use a brad tipped drill bit. So I can put the brad right in the center. Just watch out where if you put a nail in there, you don't want to drill over that nail. That's it. All done. Y'all stayed all the way to the end of the video. I appreciate it. These are real simple. They're fun. You can get artistic. I am going to do a video later on how I would burn them, paint them, do some other creative stuff with them to give you some ideas. These do sell in the markets. They sell on your Nextdoor app. I've sold a ton of these. These are actually probably one of my biggest sellers over the past few years after I've started making them. I just made one, put a design on it, and somebody wanted to buy it. So you never know what will happen. Y'all stay safe, have fun, and hopefully I'll see you next time.